everyone. The music has stopped, and this is a sign that we start our Great Pitch Contest. We are back I am back on this stage, and I'm very happy to be back this year as well. This Great Pitch Contest slot is dedicated to our one of our acceleration programs. It's called Ventures Thrive, and we have 12 amazing startups that will present their solutions right now before the panel of the 5 jurors who will be assessing them, and in the end we will see who won the Great Pitch Contest. First, I wanted to present the jury. We have, as I mentioned, 5 amazing jurors. From the left side, we will have Jarek Białek, who's managing partner at Revenue Capital. Then Robert Grigorowicz, investment manager at SpeedUp VC Group. Jose Miguel Salazar, manager CE Regional Sustainability Hub at PwC Poland. Michael Holtkamp, venture partner and co-founder at LG Future Home. And Kamila Chmielewska, expert of EIT and EIC Accelerator in Horizon European National Center for Research and Development in Poland. Excuse me for looking at my notes, it's a bit longer than everyone else. And so, yeah, the rules of the Great Pitch Contest are a bit different this slot. We will have change of the small change. We will have 4 minutes for the pitch, for the presentation, and 3 minutes for questions from the judges. All startups who are here, who will be presenting, please note that you have 7 minutes in total. As I mentioned, 4 minutes for pitch, 3 minutes for the questions. When you run out of 4 minutes for the pitch, I will not be interrupting you. The 3 minutes for the questions will just run. Just keep the track of time. You will have the timer on the prompter here. So just be aware of this. You'll have your presentation, and this is the rules. I will be reminding of them like before each pitch, just in case someone like went away or forgot about them. So yeah, let's start with the first startup. It's Greenometer. Who do we have here? Yes. Here is the clicker and the microphone.
Thank you very much. Hello, good morning to everyone. My name is Jan Zverina. I'm the founder at Greenometer. We are based in Prague, Czech Republic, but today I'm really happy to be here in Poland together with you. So we all know what the companies are facing today. Every company is asking the questions that you see behind me. They are afraid of them. They don't know what their carbon footprint is. They don't know how to turn their products green. They are not so sure if they can get financing from the banks in 5 years' time. What they can do with it, they can do nothing. They can just risk it and think, okay, the whole EU regulations, they will just eventually go away. We will not need to become sustainable after all. They can try to get self-help. They can hire external consultants, try to calculate everything for themselves. They can jump on one of the enterprise platforms, something like Salesforce or Microsoft, or they can choose Greenometer. What we want to do differently is we are really focusing on the sustainability alone. We don't handle sustainability as some sort of a byproduct, as the other enterprise platform. And in comparison with our competitors, we are really trying to see the whole scope of sustainability. What we are seeing today on the market are banks that are actually building their own data warehouses just for the sustainable data, to really have them ready whenever they need it for any sort of methodology. We are the database for sustainability data for anyone else who can't afford to build their own data warehouse just for this cause. I will give you a quick example. We had one client 2 years ago, one of our first clients actually. They have a small factory in the Czech Republic. They are producing braking pedals. They came to us. They said, guys, we need you to calculate carbon footprint of us. Okay, we did it. 1 year later, they came back and they say, okay, we need a carbon footprint again, but now we need the whole ESG report. We need to know where we are, how we are doing with our competitors. We leveraged the data we already had. We put something to it. We again gave them the report. The customer was happy. Now, 3 months ago, they came to us. We need the carbon footprint of the product that we are actually building. We said, guys, no problem. We've been to your factory. We have all the data we need. We had the work done by the next day. So this is the thing that I believe differentiates us from the other competitors the most. How it works? Of course, pretty simple. we are bringing all the data that are today in Excel spreadsheets and emails back to where it should have been all along, and of course that's the cloud. We are not just retyping the data manually, we have a machine reading module, we are able to read most of the most common invoices in the countries where we are present, so you don't need to type in the data one by one. We can also hook up to your API, we can also leverage the data from space, as it was the topic here quite often, and last but not least, there are always surveys to fill in the data that is missing. Once the data is there, we are pretty much able to cover any sustainability methodology that is currently in place in Europe or in India. Once we have the data, we can of course report on them, we can show some dashboards, we can set the goals for the company, and most importantly, we can also provide AI recommendations how to improve your score. For a company, the value your carbon footprint is 47 tons. Is not much of a use, but if you put it into benchmark, if you show how the competitors are doing, and if you tell them how to improve it, this is actually the added value where we believe the market is going. We of course have multiple partners, so this is what is pushing us forward. We want to be scalable, therefore we are already not only selling the platforms ourselves as the founders, but we have quite a lot of business partners. Actually, in the last 6 months, most of the business is already generated by third parties. We have the technological partners. We want to be auditable in the future. Therefore, we also cooperate with certification agencies. Last but not least, we want to remain on the cutting edge of sustainability, and we also work with the universities. The business model is not a huge surprise. Of course, software as a service revenue, data set revenue. We have a first client, a bank, which is buying from us averages for the Czech Republic because they want to know if the companies that they are financing are actually, on average, more carbon intense or less. We have different client types. Of course, also the motivation differs. So sometimes it's the multinational supply chains. The guy that is buying the stuff from you just needs to know. So he pushes the information down to you. You need to calculate it. We have some SMEs, similar to the factory that I was describing, somebody that is selling physical products mostly to Western Europe, and they need the carbon footprint of the company and of the product already today to participate in the RFPs. And last but not least, those are also financial institutions, as banks, investment funds, especially real estate investment funds, who also need to keep track of the carbon intensity of their portfolio, not only the carbon intensity. The market is huge, it's growing. We hope that we will get the market share of 6% in Europe and Asia. We already have 40 paying clients. We have clients also from Kazakhstan, we have a client in Vietnam, we have a client in India, and we have clients in, I would say, half of the European countries already by today. What we are, of course, the traction, we started last year. We reached 60,000 euro revenues. We have quite ambitious goals, and we are, of course, looking also for the investor to help us reach them. But we believe we have the right team. Most of us have worked in large software implementing companies, something like Accenture, SAP, SAS. So we know how to build a product. We know how to build it scalably. We know how to build it in 5 countries at the same time. We are looking for an investor who is really B2B experienced, because we believe that this is the part that we might be missing. And we also believe that this is the right time to invest. The valuations are right. The market is now going through what we are hopefully calling the growth phase, no longer the crazy investment phase. We believe there is a huge regional vacuum in Europe and in Asia, and in Central Eastern Europe and Asia. The market is significantly underserved here, and we are ready for immediate scale up into all of these countries that I was mentioning. Thank you.
We have 1 minute for questions. Who would like to start? Very fast one.
Maybe, how's the competition? I mean, you mentioned like Plan A. I mean, there are plenty of startups and solutions coming up. How would you see your solutions in this space? So how would you compete against them? Why are you successful?
We are not yet competing with them directly, because our presence in the Western Europe is limited, and their presence in Central Eastern Europe is close to non-existent, with exception of Poland, actually, which was one of the market of Planetly. But we know how the products look. We have the testing accounts and the access. We are also getting inspirations from them from time to time. But we believe what we've built with 1.5 developers so far is on the same product maturity as what they are building with 20. So we believe that this is something that we can do better and faster.
Okay, thank you for your bridge. Can you describe what is your approach to the data and to the sourcing data to your platform? I mean, invoices, APIs. So what exactly do you use? How do you work with the client's data?
You need to answer fast.
We found out that this is actually the most important part is the data collection, not the calculation itself. So we are trying to make it as easy to the customer as possible. We do not have many clients that would like to, for us to get the access to the API, but we have many clients that are leveraging the invoices because even the smaller SMEs, they don't sometimes have all the data in place. So for the energy, water, gas, and so on, they just can upload the invoices and we get the data from it.
Okay. But is it manual upload or some?
They are still manually uploading it in a bulk of the invoices, sending there, and then we basically read through it. Not we personally, but the machine reads through it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. We have to finish the pitch. Thank you very much once again. The next startup is VCG.ai. Yes, I just want to remind one more time, we have 7 minutes, 4 minutes for the pitch and 3 minutes for the questions. The timer is there. Please keep track of the time. I will not be interrupting you because maybe you want more questions than the pitch. Okay, here you go, your clicker and the microphone.
Thank you. So, welcome everyone. My name is Jon and I'm the co-founder and CEO at VCG.ai. We develop big data solutions to help companies across the world optimize their resource efficiency so that we can all enjoy a more sustainable world. The agri-food value chains today are wasting really enormous amounts of resources, and this put both a huge financial cost to the industry as well as causes a big environmental challenge for every single one of us. There are really strict regulations and reporting requirements that are coming in and that are forcing companies to have a look into, okay, how can we really optimize on that? How can we improve? And yet most of the companies don't have a clear idea really how that is achievable. So let's take, for example, one of our early adopters. It's a multinational brewery with factories in Slovenia. They do about 150 million in revenue a year. So they really see the circular solutions as an opportunity for them to improve on the sustainability point, but don't really know how to go about it. They don't have a centralized overview and centralized data structure for all of their material and waste streams. They have very limited know-how of the available solutions in the market for improving their circularity, and they don't know who to partner with in the local new value chains that they have to develop in order to make this happen. And this is where VCG comes in. We are here to change that for thousands of companies across the world. VCG is a big data and AI solution that helps companies to first manage their circular economy data, as well as then to find the right circular solutions and value chain partners to implement those solutions and to thus reduce their footprint, reduce their waste, and improve their profitability. So how do we do it? First, we enable companies to really speed up the data collection and centralization across different departments and across different elements in their supply chain and arrange it according to the circular economy reporting criteria. Then we analyze and match each of the material streams of individual companies and match it directly with potential circular solutions, as we call them BioLink models, so that the companies can evaluate and prioritize the right ones for them. To implement a certain chosen BioLink model, we make the right supply chain partners, technology providers, and funds so that companies can go and actually implement these proposed solutions in their setting, again, to reduce their footprint, to reduce their costs and improve profitability and reduce their waste. The market that we are focusing on, there is 2.6 trillion in new market opening up for all the new products that are coming out of these circular agri-food value chains. And this, besides the regulations and besides all the requirements, this is a big incentive for companies to start exploring both these circular opportunities and opportunities for business diversification. By analyzing millions of companies in our database, we defined that there are over 15,000 companies in Europe alone that fit our initial customer profiles. Right now, we are working with Deloitte and with Oracle. They both provide ESG and sustainability reporting services. And what we are doing is we're enabling their clients to evaluate and find better circular solutions for their value chains. In terms of the market, VCG matching engine is already used for regional development in a number of European countries. Later this year, we are starting a national project in Germany where we will provide all the business support organizations across 28 regions with the right tools to support their local industry in implementing the right solutions for them. Besides that, we are working with the first large agri-food companies to develop and validate our final enterprise solution. And our database is already strong in terms of 400 potential circular solutions and business models, as well as that we are able to do the matchmaking among millions of companies as of today. Besides me, there is a team of experts in circular value chains, technology commercialization, data solutions, and product management. And we are all dedicated to really develop solutions that will push our industry forward and to enable sustainability at scale. Right now, we are looking for about 1.5 million euro investment so that we can finalize and deploy our enterprise solution, as well as to grow our team that will support the market deployment that we are looking to achieve through our partnerships in the next year. By the end of 2024, we aim for about 2 million in annual revenue. Thank you very much.
Who will start?
Okay, so very quickly, in terms of like, how human intense is the process? I'm probably referring to what Robert asked before, but basically when it comes to the data collection and then report production process itself.
Right.
So if you grow, let's say by 100 companies, how does it translate into your needs to, gear up when it comes to your team capabilities eventually, within the company, or how automated this process can become as we go?
So the data collection that we focus on is really specific. So we don't focus now on incredible amount of data points. So we don't need to collect like invoices and stuff like this. We focus on the material flows within the companies. And so this data is in most cases, it's already available. It's simply about, that the purchasing department has some data, the waste management department has some data, the operations department has some data, and it's only about centralizing. So in that case, in companies that we see, where they collect data only for themselves, for one production site, no input from our end, so that is no human capital additional. But sometimes, where you have companies that now require us to collect data for 300 of their supplier network, there is some sort of, let's say, just project management to give them guidance. Okay, activate your supplier in this and this type of way to collect the data.
Thank you.
Besides agri-tech, are you seeing other sectors of immediate focus?
Yes, so right now we are focusing on this because this is where we are most, let's say, we have the most domain know-how and where we see that there is lots of opportunity right now. However, yes, there are other verticals. I mean, there is the agri-food, like right now we are focusing on food and beverage, but then there is the whole vertical that is going to the distribution. So that means hotels, retailers, all of these, let's say, that are related to the food. And then we can apply the same methodology to other verticals as well. So for example, in the wood and forest-based industries, that would include also furniture and stuff like that.
Exactly on time. Thank you very much. Thank you. 2 presentations and 10 more to go. Seasoil is our next startup. Yes, I have the presenter here. Remember, 4 minutes for the pitch, 3 minutes for the questions, and I'm not interrupting you. The timer is there and the presentation as well.
Hello, my name is Michael, and I'm co-founder and CEO of Seasoil. 3 years ago, when I started my first company, it was a cosmetic company with my Asian wife. We wanted to make a completely green ecological project. We made it all to the last point, packaging. But fortunately, we found the packaging which was biodegradable. It was all good. But after we went more into the detail, we found out it's a pure greenwashing. So basically, our biomaterials are not readily biodegradable. They need very specific conditions to actually biodegrade. And biodegradation composting plants, they don't want them, basically. And to produce them, you need to use food. And we thought, wait, we can have a lot of better solutions for food or for the area of the farms. So why won't we do something else? So I gathered a team of specialists in biotechnology and polymer chemistry, and we started working on this solution. We made a biomaterial. We're using a very advanced biotechnological process, which is very similar to polypropylene and polyethylene when it comes to mechanical properties. It can biodegrade everywhere, meaning every natural environment. For example, you can put it into the sea, into the soil, into the ocean, and it's going to be basically eaten up by bacteria. Also, we learned how to produce it utilizing the agri-waste, so we can definitely cheapen our cost of production. Now we are flooded by plastic. It's a huge problem. Lately, I also read that newborns are born with microplastics inside the bodies, so we definitely need to do something with this terrible plastic. Because we are using agri-waste, we are reducing the carbon footprint of production of our materials and plastics. So basically, our target is to become a carbon negative producer. Also, because of our material is biocompatible, it means it can be eaten by humans, animal, and fish, and nothing happens. It's just going to become digested. So first market we want to choose is the cosmetics. We know it the best. We have the best connections. We also started talking with cosmetic companies, so we know there is quite a big need, and the market of biodegradable packaging in this field is growing. So we have obviously competition. I love the guys on the right. They are doing the great stuff. They lack something, and this is the field we want to fill. So very often they sacrifice green for broad applications, and in our case, we don't need to do it. So business-wise, we talked to a lot of companies, both small and big. We see a great interest. We also got accepted into a couple of acceleration programs, the biggest one being Octopus Ventures from the UK, and we are polishing our business model as well. So where are we now technologically? We made the material, we started producing a small MVPs, namely a small rigid material, and also we learned how to make this rigid material a little bit more flexible. So we can use it, for example, in a push like shampoo bottles. So we want to make the world healthier, more sustainable, and remove the whole oil-based plastics from FMCG and the cosmetics industry. Currently, we're raising our first pre-seed round to focus on R&D and scale the technology to pilot and start selling to our potential customers. Thank you very much for the presentation.
Can you tell us a bit more about basically the production performance versus the classic old school plastic production? So how do you perform economically in terms of like the economy of scale?
Sure. So economically, our target is to be a little bit more expensive. What we found out through customer discovery in cosmetics with cosmetic companies is that they expect us to be on the price of glass and aluminum at start, which is very achievable from the start. And if we can get lower and get closer to plastics, it's obviously better for them because the price will be lower, and then we can scale to the companies like L'Oreal, which definitely said to us that they can pay a little bit more, but it can't be like twice or 50%. They can accept like 10, 15% more, like higher price than normal plastics. And it's achievable.
Thank you.
And how do you source your food waste to produce?
Yes, basically currently we're using the bio-waste from sugar production because it's the easiest for the process, and it's very sourceable from Poland, where we are located, because we have a lot of big sugar producers. In the later stages of technology, we want to focus on all kind of bio-waste, namely leaves, rotten fruits, rotten vegetables, grass, everything what has carbon naturally in it, so we can process it into another biological process and feed it to our bacteria so they can grow on it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe a question. So can you scale up to other products as well? I mean, you're starting with cosmetic.
Yes.
Can it be a standard consumer product also?
Yes. So our target is start with cosmetics. Let's say namely the packaging. Let's imagine a small cosmetic jar for creams, face creams. This is the target, and this is what our customers would like mostly. Then we will be looking for, let's say, cosmetic tubes for like also the creams or other applications. But we also have a good lead from a local producer, Żabka, with their Match Fit, which is the dietary plan. And they also approach us to look into more like food packaging. But aside from it, we also got a nice hint from one person, which I need to look deeper into this process, but for fertilizers. They are looking for biodegradable coatings. So this is something we will also look into.
How durable it is, the product final?
In terms of mechanicals or biodegradation?
Yeah.
Both. So mechanically, it's very similar to plastics, namely polypropylene. It's our start. It's the closest in terms of property, durability, mechanical properties. And in terms of biodegradability, it can biodegrade within 6 months in any natural environment. So basically, I can put it into my garden, dig it down, and 6 months later, nothing, just compost and some microelements.
Any other questions? Still have half a minute.
Are there any limits regarding the place when I can store such packaging?
No. On the sterile environment, like air, bathroom, desk, whatever, where there is non-microbiological, let's say, debris or bacteria, it can be stored for a long time. I have a small vial on my desk laying for like over 6 months now. Nothing happened.
Okay, thank you.
The last question, is the technology patented?
We don't want to patent it. We want to, at least at this stage, look more into protecting this as know-how.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Our next startup presenting is Digital Bytes. We have the presenter here. Do you know the rules? Do you remember the rules?
Of course I do.
4 minutes for questions and 3 minutes for 4 minutes for the pitch. Sorry, my brain is fired already. And 3 minutes for the questions. Here you go.
Hello, I'm Mike, and I'm here presenting Digital Bytes. So, I'm a co-founder of the company, where he works for the R&D department of a major food company, and what he saw is that a lot of products fail. Actually, the majority of them. But why do they fail? What is wrong behind this number? So, these products had data behind them. Something was backing them up. The problem is the data itself. Self-reporting is inaccurate. That data was inaccurate. That data was biased. Because when I'm reporting what I'm doing, I'm definitely letting my brain not let me explain exactly what I'm doing, because I'm doing it subconsciously most of the time. Also, the entire procedure of researching for these insights is pretty costly and pretty inefficient, because there is a need for physical prototyping. Oops. So what we're doing is we're taking these experiments and we're putting them in VR. In VR, we can collect biometrics data, interaction data, behavioral data, as well as eye tracking data. We're collecting the best data there is. The body will not lie. Our solution offers easy experiment design through templates, instant delivery, and then we can quickly get data. We can quickly get insights on what we're doing, what you're doing. So we're taking the products, we're putting them in a shelf, we're on the experiment, we collect the data, and then immediately we present that to our customers. Our strong use cases. There is usability and concept design. Is that rebranding you're thinking a good idea right now? Maybe it's not the best time to do it? We can find that out. Packaging claims and ingredient lists. So is that vegan claim you're planning to add on your product actually really good for you? Maybe your brand is too strong already and the people know. And of course, competition and self-performance prediction. Every new product needs to be tested on the shelf. Do you want to pay the higher price to be in the middle and the eye level of the shelf? Or maybe you can be lower. We can find that out. Our initial go-to-market is mostly medium and large food companies, both in the Europe and NA. And we're trying to move on into the global insights gig economy. So right now, we want to speed up R&D, and we want to have the highest possible data accuracy, without having to resort to AI-generated consumers, which is a trend right now. We're efficient. We actually can help reduce product development cycles by up to 80%. We offer a simple solution. We can generate experiments very, very quickly. We can give high accuracy of data because of the data quality with very, very small samples. And of course, we're agile. We can actually get to testing before the prototypes need to be manufactured. There is no manufacturing, and there is no supply chain constraints. Right now, we're working on custom projects. We recently had our pilot with Pescanova Greece, as well as the Herax Analytics, and we're moving on with more projects right now. Towards the end of this year, we're trying to move into a subscription service. Our prototype was ready by February this year. Within 2 months, we ran a lot of tests, we prepared our MVP, and in the first week of May, we're on our pilot. We're launching by the end of next month, and we're looking to grow from there. The team. Theodoros is our food scientist. He's the one who saw the problem. Lukas is an electrical engineer. He's a VR developer. And I'm Mike, a mechanical engineer. I'm into data collection, data analysis. In relation to sustainability, of course, any product that does not launch will not lead to food waste if it was going to fail. Of course, any product that will launch and is exactly what the consumers want is enabling them to get the products they really want and not what they think or what they say they want, because sometimes what I say can actually be biased. And of course, technology is everything. We're working with technology, innovation, all of that. Thank you. A new era of research. Any questions?
Okay, so in terms of, I understand that you work mostly with the focus group. So when it comes to the traditional way of collecting data, I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, it's done this way. Does it mean that they all have to be VR equipped? And then how much does it restrict your, basically, scaling up, your potential?
So right now, we're on a pilot with Pesca Nova Greece. What they would do, if it weren't for us, they would have hundreds of customers run focus groups. We actually ran the experiment with only a fraction of that. We had tenths of customers run that individually, in a room, VR headset, biometric sensors, 15 minutes of testing, small training before that, and we're done. Couple days, couple tenths of people, and that's it. We get the data. It's big data. What we get is actually a lot of CSVs, like lots of big-size CSVs. We run whatever script we have to run, and make it into a more readable format, and then we can present it pretty quickly, pretty agile.
And if I may quickly, do you see any discrepancies in terms of like the regular interaction with the physical products, those members of the focus groups are normally performing versus yours, and how much does it affect the end process?
So that's a great question. The pilot was run along with ERX Analytics. They are a more traditional company. After we ran it, they had the follow-up interview. So exactly, the Pesca Nova had the same question as you do. Why would I do that? Is that something that is actually accurate? Do I get the same results if it's cheaper, but is it good? So what we did, we ran with ERX Analytics, they're our partner. They had one-on-one interviews afterwards, and the report was being prepared last night. So I don't exactly have the accurate data to tell you what happened, but I know that we are working on it right now.
Thank you.
Could you please talk about what is the process for you to design or set up the environment, the VR space?
Of course. Right now, every new customer gets their custom products and competition products into the VR. But the more we scale up, the more templates we have. Right now, because we run a food test pilot with Pesca Nova Greece, we have a lot of frozen fish in that category. So if we have a competitor come to us, it's all ready. It's drag and drop, and it's done. So if we get the next project, if it happens to be from some beverage company, we'll have to create that from scratch because we're a startup, we're growing right now. But the second one will already be pre-made because we had the first one. So we're building a database that makes it for us easier and easier to scale up and be even quicker.
Just to follow up on that one, how do you ensure to your potential clients that you are not disclosing their information to potential competitors?
Okay, that's a good one. We're not bound legally yet. It should be it needs individual contract, of course.
Thank you. If you have any other questions, you can always follow up with the judges after the pitch. Thank you very much. And our next startup is Bluana. Do I pronounce it properly? Bluana, okay. Here's your clicker. The microphone, you know the rules. 4 minutes of the pitch, 3 minutes of the questions, and I do not interrupt you. You have the timer there, and good luck.
Thanks. 600+ billion is how much we love seafood. It's basically the GDP of Poland. We love a lot seafood, and actually there is a 9% CAGR by year, every year from 2022 to 2029. Well, we actually love it more raw. We love sushi a lot. The growth of the seafood market is actually one of the best drivers is everything that is raw. Sushi, sashimi, poke bowl, you name them. Now, there is a little tiny problem in that. we just don't have enough fish. We need 2 to 3 planet Earth to fish enough. We already have overfishing, so it's quite of a problem. Farming, yes, good, but marginality is very low, and also it brings a lot of other problematic. Have you ever heard of intoxications for the handling of fish, et cetera, et cetera? That difference between demand and supply bring it a very normal and usual things. Growth of price. Not as far as the next year, 75 euro a kilo will be the cost for salmon. Not from me, but the biggest producer of salmon in Europe, which is actually in Poland. Now, my name is Marco. I'm the CTO of Bluana, and that's where we got into the picture. We make sustainable, tasty, affordable, plant-based products, plant-based sushi, sashimi, everything that is raw. Now, you're going to say, oh, I heard about it before. It's nothing new. Well, plant-based is the only thing that put us in common with everyone else. Because Bluana was born not to mimic seafood, it was to outperform them. While the others has a huge problem in the taste. I don't know if you guys tried the taste of alternative seafood, but it's not great. And that's because they're using traditional technology. We developed a completely new technology to build that. Our salmon, tuna, outperform the usual salmon and tuna. We have low calorie, high nutritional density. No product out in the market is as close to us. Not least, our marginality. We have very high marginality, while our competitors very low, and even lower for the fish farming. And the price for consumer is lower than the original. You're never going to pay more for something that is not the original one. Last but not least is shelf stable. The problematic of using raw fish is that it's expensive. I can use it for a very limited time, and then I have to throw it away. If I'm a shop, if I'm a restaurant, I have an issue with that. Now you don't have it anymore. Of course, we're good for the planet. Third party, independent. 100 tons of product that we produce, 53,000 tons saves the CO2, and then we hit also 3 of the goals. How we do that? 2 things. Well, actually 3. A branding that does not talk about saving the planet. We want people to eat our food because it's great and because they're having fun. We want people to change the world while having fun, not because they have to think about it. That's not going to work. And then the technological part, of course, for us is the key. We've developed a completely new technology, patented, and we put the chef into the picture. So we use molecular gastronomy, trade secret, in combination of the technology that we developed. Our high moisture, high nutrients injection is that technology. It allowed us to get more than 50% of water. Have you tried alternative protein-based foods? Very dry. We don't have that problem. And then we have a high nutritional density. We're shelf stable, and we have a modular technology. To do that, we put together a team that not just say it, but delivered already in the past. As a collective track record, we have 4 successful exit of business, 8 granted patents, more than 50 scientific papers, 5 million followers, which in 2023 counts for something, and then more than 50 product launch on the markets. We did it already in Europe, in Japan, United States. Thank you, and happy ocean to everyone.
So one question for me, are there any other substances you use to produce the final product, which can be like chemical related, or from the marketing even point of view, perceived as not natural?
That's a very good question. So we're the only one that actually start with fresh product. When I was talking about the molecular gastronomy, we start with the dashi. We're the only one starting with that. This is our secret sauce. This is our trade secret. Now, in the process of productions, of course we have technological answer, right? Even the protein that we use, even it's coming from a process, so we have to include it in there. But we have a very big difference. We don't really have any E into it in our labels, because the majority of the flavor, the majority of the texturizing, etc., comes from this dash that we extract naturally.
So how close are you to come to the market?
Well, we're already on the market. Right now, we are actually, my co-founders is in Amsterdam. We're doing catering, because that's our quickest way to make a product, testing with the people, and that's where we got the 8 out of 10 that they prefer it over the fish. I don't trust any data that is not with money on top of it. So if they pay for something, then I trust this data. If they don't pay for it, so we're making paying customers, and we're validating it this way. Now we're raising $3.5 million to get the machineries in production, and then basically from small productions to get it to larger production, then go into restaurant, HoReCa, and then direct to consumer, just to vehiculate our brand and make sure that they got to know it.
Last quick question.
Okay. First of all, I really enjoyed the presentation. Really beautiful slides. Good job. I have to ask about the scalability. So how scalable this technology is?
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I actually skipped the data that was in one of the slides. So the technology is actually to produce 200 kilo a day. It's 75,000 euro. It's very scalable. You can take it this modularly, right? So every day you can produce 200 kilos, and it's 75,000 euro, one buy. Of course, there is a scalability. Right? If you do it larger, there are elements that are going to cost you less, but it's quite scalable, it's quite cheap. And that's the point. That's why we patent it. I mean, usually people think that you need to create something extremely difficult. The difficulty is making something simple. And that's what we focused on to make this product.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next presenting startup is called Bioreffic. I hope that is correct pronunciation. Oh, amazing. I'm flattered. Here's the clicker and the microphone. You remember the rules? 4 minutes of the pitch and 3 minutes of the questions. Here you go. Good luck.
Those of you who read the one-liner in the intro slide are probably wondering what the hell fiber has to do with 23% on a gravestone. Actually, a lot. 23% is the increase of early mortality between a low fiber intake group and a high fiber intake group. We are in the middle of a silent epidemic of metabolic heart disease and obesity. And much of it has to do with the food we consume and how low in essential nutrients, especially fiber, it is. Interviewing food companies, we actually found out that there is a big trend to try and improve the nutritional qualities of food. So it's not all gloom and doom. The companies are looking for ways how to do it. Problem is, adding fiber to processed foods is quite a challenge because it impacts the processing and also the end product. That's why me and my co-founder decided to try and find the perfect natural fiber that can be incorporated into foods to improve the nutritional qualities. The best natural fibers are actually all around us. They are locked up into biomass. Fortunately, my co-founder did his PhD work on how to extract these fibers. That's how we came to a fiber that is highly functional, and we're looking to develop into a product that can be seamlessly added into the most consumed processed foods, such as snacks, bakery, beverages. And the best part of it, it has a fourfold beneficial impact on our gut health compared to the commonly used plant prebiotic fibers. The consumer trends and actually already emerging governmental mandates are driving the fiber demand in multiple segments. While food is is a very important one. Actually, feed is a very scalable market that is just emerging because, for example, of antibiotic bans. And our plan is to start with the food applications and then also move into feed applications as the scalability of the markets are just uncomparable. Obviously, the competition is not sleeping, and two of our competitors in the specific fiber category we are in are Comet and Supplant. Both are operating in the US. And our main competitive advantage is highly adaptable and scalable supply chain integration. What we are essentially doing, we are taking the agricultural residues, which are usually left on the fields or burned, and we are applying our technology to extract highly nutritional and highly affordable food ingredients. We have the perfect team to make it happen. Raitis is the technical mastermind behind the technology, and we've been recently joined by a colleague from the world's leading food solutions provider and with significant experience in milling. We have already a pipeline of bioenergy plants which are willing to integrate the technology into their plant design, as well as few pilot food producer tests. But we are looking at application trials and pilot tests with food and beverage manufacturers, and to be able to produce a food grade product at already marketable product. Actually, we are looking to build a pilot facility and looking for a co-investor together with a strategic investor. My name is Emils, I'm from Biorefic, and let's make processed food great as far as we can. Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, I would like to ask, what is the business model behind that?
Initially, we are pure play ingredients producer, so we actually produce and sell the ingredient. In future, we'll see if that's possible to extend into a licensing model. But anyway, we have to do the sales and marketing because it's a relatively innovative product. And at some point, we believe distributors will be able to sell the product. It comes at the heart of the extraction technology. It's repurposed from bioenergy, so it's inherently very scalable. So we actually have to scale it down to start developing it, and at the end, it's very high. It can process very high volumes.
Okay, so does it mean just a production process?
Yes.
Okay, and related to that, next question. So does it mean that on the level, the final product, I mean this fiber itself, it is that the competition or doesn't let you be or provide clients with the better fiber? It will be just a commodity, and
it's near commodity. Basically, it comes down to what price and quality can you offer, and with the technology we have underlying, that I think we excel, and also we have possibility to market it in the EU. Well, the competitors are able to market only, not only, but mainly in the US due to regulatory reasons.
Okay, thank you.
Due to regulatory reasons, how long would it take your competitors to potentially enter the market if they will want to in the EU?
Even if they enter the market in the EU, the competitors are relatively limited with what integrations they are doing. So they are integrating into different supply chains than we are, and they are much more complex to do. We are looking at other agricultural side streams which are very good in terms of both composition as well as the processing side. So that's where the main advantage in the technology side comes from.
Thank you. Unfortunately, we ran out of time for questions, but I see the jury has a lot of questions to you, so you must be popular. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next startup presenting is ARIA Robotics. Yes, we have the presenter. Reminding you of the rules, 4 minutes of the pitch and 3 minutes of the questions. Here's your clicker, the microphone, and good luck.
Thank you very much. Hello, my name is Tezel from ARA Robotics. I'm CTO of the company. I will present you the ARA's sophisticated cleaning robot. Commercial cleaning is a big problem with high costs and health implications to its operators. Commercial cleaning robots are single purpose. They usually sweep, scrub, or polish and have no multitasking nor autonomy. Meet ARA, our fully autonomous multitasking floor maintenance robot that also inspects floor and air quality. ARA produces 70% less waste, and it is 100% more efficient, cleans about 100,000 square meters of space per day, and savings up to 15 euros per square meter. From patented modular maintenance units to industry's first AI and in-house developed algorithms for floor and air quality inspection, we offer high technology to an age-old task. The first commercial prototype now at TRL6 and nears completion in most of its components and processes. We offer the highest technology at a premium price per performance level. None of our competitors offer so much duty and autonomy with no human work needed. ARA's unit economics offers autonomous everything innovation and a cost advantage resulting in a 16 months ROI and safety, user-friendly user interface for 7/24 working. Our business model provides flexibility of robot as a service with revenues ranging from direct sales, regional distributors, to monthly subscription depending geography and market conditions. The global floor cleaning machines market is about $7 billion USD with an annual growth of 8.5%. We plan to get at least 24 million in the first 5 years of operations. ARA Robotics GmbH will be our European base together with RV Group in Germany. We already have several LOIs and beta testing agreements with airports, hospitals, and multinational factories, even refineries. ARA Robotics outlasted the pandemic, a global supply chain challenge, and now is ready to deploy its product in the market. We are two young founders with more than 45 years of mobile robots and electronics experience, leading a small but capable group of engineers. Carefully planned and invested so far, we need 350,000 euros investment to launch. Venture Strive grant, if available, will cover some of the costs. Our year-to-year projection is on the screen, so we strive to reach 24 million in revenue at the soonest. Our mission is to be involved in good health, clean water, decent working conditions, and sustainable cities by using every aspect of infrastructure and innovation, all to provide an opportunity for advancing human society and reducing climate harm. Thank you very much for listening.
Maybe one question. Thanks for the presentation.
Thank you.
I mean, you're competing against international players like Kärcher. So how do you ensure that the quality and the durability of your product is sufficient? Because, I mean, it should run for 5, 10 years, and that's quite difficult if you build a product first time.
Yes, we have carefully analyzed for years. We were actually in cleaning robot business. And right now, I think we have more than 7 years of analysis for the market, feedbacks from customers. So we carefully analyzed and manufactured a product that will fulfill any customer's requests, or we can say it can work anywhere, any indoor building, hospitals, or similar places. Using highly innovative technologies like AI or electronic devices that we have on it, it can carefully and it can do its work, I can say. Sorry, I'm a bit excited.
Okay, so I understand that, you know, when it comes to the robotic cleaning,
Yes.
it performs pretty well, as you presented, you know, cost per square meter. It's fairly clear that, you know, when it comes to repetitive tasks, so large spaces,
Yes.
airports, hospitals. But what about those ad hoc cleaning needs, where you actually need, you know, human staff to just go and perform one very specific, very sort of original type of the job? Like how do you perform, you know, when it comes to this sort of job?
It depends on the strategy you choose. Actually, you can direct the robot to a specific location to clean that area and come back. I didn't actually understand your question exactly.
So maybe let me ask you in a different way. When it comes to the reasons why your customers are choosing your solution,
Okay.
apart from the cost per square meter, what else? What are the requirements they have?
We don't need any requirements. We just need internet and a place to run.
Okay.
Thank you.
We run out of time. Thank you very much. Maybe you could follow up with the jury about this
Thank you.
question later. Thank you. And the clicker. Okay, our next startup is called Emma, and we have our presenter here. Here's the clicker for you. And the rules are the same: 4 minutes of the pitch and 3 minutes of the questions. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Did you know that patients' waiting time inside emergency departments is a ticking bomb for both patients' health and hospitals' budgets? Just 1 hour of waiting can increase the cost of care up to 30%, while based on waiting time metrics, the NHS in England, they have 5 times worse efficiency comparing to 10 years ago. As a result, €4 billion problem per year just for the UK, which is directly connected with the UN Sustainable Development Goal number 3. So, we designed Emma to support doctors' clinical decisions, answers questions like, who patient has priority, who needs my attention the most, and why someone should not wait any longer, making patients' journey safer and faster. Wearable biosensors identify any health deterioration, and timely notifications combined with medical history, patient symptoms, and patient's physiology are sent to the mobile app of ER personnel to provide the answers to these questions. Okay.
Is everything all right, team? The AV team? going on. You need to. Yes. Yes, all works.
Okay. Now it works, thank you. Okay, so...
Sorry for this.
For example, imagine a 40-year-old male with chest pain waiting for blood exam results to be ready in order for doctors to define the next steps. His waiting time period can last up to 6 hours in public hospitals. And during this time period, the probability to get worse is increasing without anyone getting noticed. On the other hand, while using EMMA, early signs of health deterioration are predicted and let doctors know that they should stop waiting and act now. EMMA succeeded to receive so far more than €500,000 in recent grants plus an investment. Our patent-pending technology is currently tested in 2 hospitals, creating traction of 100 patients per month. Along with Adonis, we founded EMMA to solve that issue. Adonis is a scientist who dedicated the past 7 years to AI-driven clinical decision support systems, and my experience is on management teams that building medical devices. The clinical need and the research is out there, but only a few of them manage to become actual products. Kate from Edricion is the highlight of them, but they are performing the triage decision once when patient arrives, and without considering any real-time data like our dynamic approach. Also, our game-changer feature is that EMMA AI runs locally on doctor's smartphone. That means that no sensitive data are shared outside of the physical area of the hospital, which is actually the first question that hospitals are asking us. Our revenue model is based on pay-as-you-go per patient registered in the ER, and our target market is the UK, especially the Yorkshire area, where we started discussions with Leeds Teaching Hospital to launch a proof of concept there, and our sales strategy is to recruit local medical equipment distributors that already have this experience on selling to these hospitals. Currently, we're seeking to raise €500,000, 100K is already committed by our initial investors, to get the CE certification and start engaging with paying customers. And based on our investor strategy and roadmap, we're targeting €60 million in revenue in the next 7 years. I'm Alexis, CEO and co-founder of EMMA. Please join us to make emergency departments efficient, because smart cities are not exist without smart hospitals. Thank you.
So one question about the data, collection of the data in the hospitals. So yeah, what are your practices to have the data being accurate and I would say complete, because there can be some accidents with the patients that nurses or doctors take care of and they don't report them anywhere? That's the one question. The second is, how do you perceive your competition with the platforms which are already in the hospitals or work with the doctors but aim to different problems but already have their established position?
Okay, the first question. Medical data are reported as they are. If there is a mistake, we cannot do anything about it. The important thing is that regarding our first MVP, we had an open database from a Korean hospital with 100,000 patients. And then we started with that base, creating our own databases through our hospitals. So the data that we are collecting is medical history, symptoms, vital signs, lab exam, x-rays, of course, patients' demographics. So the most we are collecting data, the better results we are getting. We are increasing our accuracy, and these medical errors are minor to the whole picture. And I don't remember the second question.
I meant that there are multiple platforms aimed to also provide doctors with some recommendation to increase the efficiency of taking care of the patients. And I'm wondering how do you perceive your competition with the platforms, let's say some telemedicine platforms or pharmaceutical ones, which already have some better established position there?
Yeah. Our competitors is not telemedicine platforms, actually. There are AI algorithms that can predict what will happen to a patient inside the journey to an emergency department. So indeed, the competition is limited. A lot of research work out there, and also the big players are looking to solutions that will make efficient triage and prioritization. This is why we are investing a lot to our patent and data structures in order to have the IP to maybe be collaborators with these companies in the future.
Sorry, we are running short on time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next presenter is the startup Buildtrix. Here's the clicker. You know the rules. 4 minutes of the pitch, 3 minutes of the questions. Here you go.
Hello, Volop Summit. Hi, judges. My name is Javad. I am the CEO and co-founder of Buildtrix. We help companies to uncover abnormality and energy-saving opportunities in commercial building using data analytics. Let's start with a story, because most of us love a story, right? But this is one of write a story. Martin is an energy manager responsible for Coop in Switzerland. If you don't know Coop, Coop is one of the biggest retailers in Switzerland and is one of our customers. Energy peaks are very cost intensive. Actually, in lots of countries like Switzerland and other European countries, the peak tariff is 60 times compared to the normal tariffs. And it could be up to 20% of the monthly bill. So the companies has lots of incentive to reduce these peaks. And the Martin challenge is to understand where, when, and how these energy peaks are happening. What are the devices responsible for these energy peaks, and how he can reduce the energy peaks. So imagine Coop has more than 2,000 stores in Switzerland, Italy, and Sweden. In every store, there are more than 15 devices, HVAC, fridge, oven, and so on. So they have a smart meter energy monitoring solution that could receive 100 million data points per month. And believe me, this is not only the problem of the Coop, it is lots of data. So they can monitor the energy consumption, but it lacks the intelligence. So they don't have any tool to understand, to get insight from those data. What we have proposed for the Coop is an energy intelligence platform that provides recommendation and advice for energy load balancing. So the solution is intelligent, is affordable, and very easy to integrate because we are hardware independent. We could be connected to more than 150 data sources. And our product is a web-based platform that could detect and analyze energy peak consumptions. And then it provides insight and recommendation for load balancing. So in terms of services, this is a platform we could analyze historical energy consumption, benchmark it, predict the energy consumption, detect if there is an abnormality, and then provide recommendation how they can tune their stores to be more energy efficient. Global energy consumption is a 35 billion opportunity by 2027. Europe only represents over 30% of the worldwide building block. And commercial building, which is our target, is 25% of the building stock in Europe. So we have a SaaS business model. We connect the smart meter or energy monitoring solution of the building to through our API. We charge them a setup fee, and then we charge them an annual fee per metering point or per building. This is aligned with the UN Sustainable Development Goals. We could reduce the gas house production, we can reduce 30%. We can integrate renewable source of energy, and we help them not only save money, but also energy consumption between 5 to 20% of reduction in energy. It could create a renewable energy source job creation, and then we empower sustainable building and cities. So in terms of traction, our solution is implemented in more than 2,000 buildings across Portugal, Italy, Switzerland, and France. Every month, our platform detects more than 200 inefficiency, is 10 times faster in terms of historical data analysis, and we could be connected to more than 150 data sources. So our roadmap for Venture Tribe is, beside other projects that we have from June until the end of the year, from the customer that we have deals, we could generate 150K through these customers that we are talking with them. We are aiming to raise €1 million by the end of the year. And then from those customer pipeline that we are talking, we expect to receive €250,000 from January to September next year, and that's mostly big companies in France and Portugal. We have a very experienced team, business development, product manager, data scientists that are experienced in a data-driven energy solution. And thank you very much. We'd be very happy to answer your questions.
One question. I mean, there are many energy management systems out in the market. What makes you special, and how would you compete and how survive in this market?
Very, very good questions. So most of the energy solutions in the market are monitoring solutions. Usually they lack the intelligent part. And usually we have a competition, for example, from Schneider Electric, Bosch, Siemens. They are mostly very expensive, and they are working with their hardware, so you need to be integrated with their hardware. What we wanted to be is on the API intelligent layer, so we could be partnered with those companies. Actually, they are our partners, some of these companies. We get the data through this hardware, and then we provide very specific analytical result and insight and recommendation to their platform. So I would say our solution is more complement with their solution in the market.
So maybe to build on top of the previous question, then apart from detecting inefficiencies, are you also, providing any sort of a roadmap or advice in terms of fixing those inefficiencies, so to speak? So would I know, as an unsophisticated person analyzing the reports, would I be able to know what to do next?
That's a very good question. Our persona and target people that we talk are energy managers, consultants. So they are expert in their fields. We are targeting the commercial sector, service sectors. We are not targeting like residential sectors. And these people are very good in their business. They lack a tool to give them insight and recommendation. So they know what they do once they have the data insights, but they don't have this tool. And we want to be this tool in their hand to give them as like a compass where to go and how to improve the energy efficiency in their building.
Thank you.
We have 10 seconds left, so probably there's no time for any other question. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Our next presenter, startup that's called Arveo Energy. Yes, here is your clicker. You know the rules: 4 minutes of the pitch and 3 minutes of the questions. Good luck to you. The floor is yours.
Thank you. The house in the background you see is a net energy positive building, which I had built as part of an international university project. Hello everyone, I am Ankit, co-founder and CEO of Arveo Energy, where we are helping small commercial buildings decarbonize. Our buildings are by far the largest contributor towards climate change, responsible for almost 40% of global carbon emissions. The problem, as you might have heard Javed also, you have a lot of existing energy management solution for large commercial buildings. So essentially you can build an AI layer on top of it on the existing infrastructure to optimize those buildings. But 90% of our global buildings are small in size. This could be franchisee owners of different retail companies like restaurant chains, grocery chains, gas stations, and so on and so forth. And traditionally, these buildings have been left out of what we call energy and digital programming, in the sense that they do not have access to any sophisticated energy monitoring solution or energy management solution. what they get is just a monthly energy bill, and they are still using pen and paper based tools to optimize or manage their operations. The market is changing fast. There are regulations coming in place. There are over 100 million such small buildings which needs to be decarbonized in the coming 7 to 10 years. This is humanly impossible for us to set up all the existing infrastructure when it comes to hardware in place in order to get data out of those buildings and then help them decarbonize by reducing their energy and optimizing other things. That's why we are building a purpose-built software specifically for small commercial buildings. So essentially what we do is that we install a single proprietary device at the main distribution panel of small building. This device both collects data and control major energy loads. So essentially by collecting data at overall energy level, we are able to understand using machine learning how energy is getting consumed across different energy loads without having the need to put any additional equipment level sensor. And once you have that data, we provide them intelligence on how they can optimize their energy consumption, how they can optimize maintenance, and also which new energy efficient technologies they can adopt. For example, upgrading from gas-based systems to heat pumps, installing solar, batteries, and so on and so forth to decarbonize their portfolio. Our approach is very cost effective because now we do not need a lot of hardware to be set up inside the buildings. It reduces the need of it reduces the cost of hardware, it reduces the cost of installation also, which makes it cost effective for small commercial buildings. And the reason why it works is because every equipment has a unique signature. We use that fact, and also if you look at small commercial buildings, for example McDonald's, they have 40,000 locations across the globe, and most of their equipment comes from handful of manufacturers. So essentially, if we are able to understand few locations in detail, we can scale the intelligence to thousands of other locations because they have standardizations when it comes to operations. We work on a subscription-based model, and on top of that, we also monetize the upsell opportunities. When we recommend certain technologies, we help our customers connect to relevant technology providers and charge a commission on the transaction. We have been very strategic in our approach. We have global ambitions, and that is why having Schneider Electric Ventures as one of our strategic partners gives us market access to more than 100+ countries. The way we are going to market, we have a B2B approach where our team reaches out to all the customers directly, and second, we are also working with Schneider. We are currently launching our product with 2 major international customers, which are McDonald's and KFC. And in future, we want to work on a partner-driven model where we become the technology provider and we work with different companies in order to scale the offering. We have a rockstar team in place. We are young. I myself is a serial entrepreneur with a previous successful exit, combined with a strong second-level management team and a strong advisory board from industry experts. We are in a great position to tackle this opportunity. We are not actively raising, but if you have some relevant connections for us, or if you want to engage for our upcoming round, we'd be happy to have a conversation. Thank you.
Who wants to start?
If it's great, then take the first one. What are you seeing right now more successful? The channel through direct B2B engagement or through the Schneider partnership?
Both are equally successful. So Schneider helps us get access to, let's say, major international customers where as a startup it is difficult for us to execute operations. So for example, through that partnership we have been able to launch in Philippines and Australia and other countries also directly. Whereas if we talk about our B2B approach, so we focus on few countries like mostly in Europe, Poland, France, Portugal are the current countries where we are working with our few customers. But the goal is to work on smaller businesses in a direct B2B approach and large international customers with global presence through strategic partnerships.
Maybe a technical question. Is it based on energy disaggregation?
Yes.
And, so how do you learn the multiple products or solutions which are in the houses or in the buildings?
Yeah, so that's where the standardization comes in. Like if you look at, let's say, McDonald's as an example, all their equipments come from handful of manufacturers. Like all their kitchen equipment comes from just 2 companies. So essentially what we are doing is we are creating a library of database, which is, I would say, our proprietary technology. So we have all the meta information about those equipments. So it helps us understanding or identifying those equipment at other locations without having the need to do any training or as such.
Thank you very much. We don't have much time left for questions, so.
Thank you.
Okay, we have 2 last startups to go. The time flew very fast. Yes, our next startup is IQ3 Solar. And we have the presenter, your clicker, microphone, 4 minutes of the pitch, and 3 minutes for the questions. You have the timer and presentation. You need to click like in that point.
Okay.
Here's the mic.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Pampos. I'm the CEO of IQ3 Solar. And did you know that even though photovoltaics are actually one of the most prevalent renewable energy sources, they are running at about 8% production loss due to inefficiencies. These are actually caused because different degradations and faults go undetected. This is due to the very large data set, which is also very noisy, and because there are no clear instructions to the operators on what to do once those faults are found. We come along to provide autonomous fault detection machine learning algorithms so that those faults can be corrected and the revenue can be preserved. We are providing an integrated platform, B2B, that provides monitoring and forecasting, production forecasting, so that you can get a very accurate picture of the state of your photovoltaic park. The way it works is that it collects data from the park itself. This will be from inverters, from meteor stations, and from our proprietary degradation sensor. And then it takes that data through a series of machine learning algorithms so that at the end, there will be recommendations that maximize the profit for the operator. Our business model is software as a service. We have a one-time installation fee plus a subscription based on what the customer purchases. Our value proposition is that we would generate enough value by increasing the production of energy and therefore the production of revenue, and this solution will pay for itself. The opportunity in photovoltaics is very large. We are targeting the utility and the commercial scale, and that by itself is about 100 billion of revenues per year. The accessible market in the operations and maintenance is about 1 billion per year. There is competition from newer companies such as Raycon, Raycatch, Solidic, and then from more established companies such as Gardner and 3E. However, we believe that we are uniquely positioned because we are a one-stop shop. We can provide patented degradation along with machine learning forecasting and fault detection all in one platform. This is something that we are the only ones that can provide that. The initial work started in 2020 with the proof of principle experiments at the University of Cyprus. In 2022, we were founded. We are a 6-month-old company. We have obtained the US patent for the degradation sensor, so that gives us a significant competitive advantage. And in 2023, we are going to be focusing on product development, the beta site launch testing, which we expect to be done in the summer. And then we're launching our first product by the end of the year. In 24 and 25, we will expand to different markets, and we will complete our product pipeline.
Just letting you know, you have 2.5 minutes left. The timer here.
Oh, okay. The go-to-market strategy is that we are focusing on outbound based on our personal connections. As we grow, we will build a dedicated sales force, and we would also be doing product demos at expos such as Intersolar, and we would also have a dedicated marketing campaign for inbound traffic as well. We are seeking for $500,000 in order to complete our product pipeline and to actually launch our products into these markets. We have a very capable team that has all the technical expertise. It also includes the inventor of the patent. We'll be looking to complement this team with business and sales expertise as we grow. We are actually providing, bringing jobs and innovation, along with affordable clean energy according to the SDGs. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll be glad to take questions.
Do you currently run any on-site tests? So how many production facilities have you been in touch with? With how many you currently collaborate?
Yes, we have been in touch with about 4 or 5 different prospective customers. I don't know why this is moving. We are in the signing of a testing protocol with one of those companies to do our beta site testing this summer.
So have you forecasted somehow how your future customer acquisition costs can relate to the average revenue you will have from the clients yearly, let's say? Because the sales cycle can be really long with such clients, and having just 350 euros per megawatt, it seems like also somehow small revenue. So will it cover your sales cost, having also some important margin for other operations?
Yes, yes. The utility scale is actually fairly consolidated. So once we are able to actually get one customer to try it in one part of their park, we can actually scale up with the customer. So we expect to be doing quite a bit of upsell with a particular customer. To first try us is actually a very small investment on their part, so it's sort of an easy sell in that respect. And once they try us on a small part of their park, they'll be able to actually go to different parks as well. And this is unique to the utility scale. It's a few big players controlling the market, and that's the market that we would go after.
Thank you very much. We ran out of time.
Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. The last startup for this slot is Windtag. Windtag. Amazing. Here's your clicker. You have some props to show. Amazing. Microphone, 4 minutes for pitch, 3 minutes for the questions. You have your timer, and good luck.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Maciej Karczewski. I'm CEO of Windtag, where we are powered by wind and data. Today, wind farm operators lose money. Excessive drag of wind rotors is responsible for 27,000 euro a year of losses. Some of wear that appears in these machines is responsible for another 170k per year. And finally, because there is still little data from wind turbines and insurance companies are needing that data, the companies making energy from wind turbines lose an additional 215,000 euro a year. And for a fleet of 70,000 turbines in Europe, this could be as much as 30 billion euro. I'll put it another way, a single turbine is prone to losing 400k euro a year alone. What we came up with is a solution that combines aerodynamics and IoT devices. This is our proprietary device that we invented, and it actually collects data as the turbine operates, sends it to our proprietary gateway, and everything is finished in cloud, where we have algorithms to do predictive maintenance. The solution is also compatible with sustainable goals, the SDGs. Today, we are having already 2 installations with clients in Poland. This is on a Vestas machine, and you see the aerodynamic product. The device that I'm holding in my hand is sending data to our cloud, where we perform analysis. And the gateway is also installed on Prince Edward Island in Canada, where we have a daughter company to sign a client this summer. The value proposition is turned into €500,000 extra for a model wind farm of 20 machines at given prices today capped in Europe at €180 per megawatt hour. When we do predictive maintenance, we are able to generate over €3 million a year for that model farm size. And when you start logging the key data, that's actually costing, that is able to raise another 4 million, over 4 million. So our average size wind farm of 20 turbines in Europe could be generating more than €8 million a year from these solutions. The business model is based on 2 revenue streams. One stream is based on a hardware one-time sale of €12,000 and a SaaS fee of €5,000 a year. And for clients not wishing to install aerodynamic products, we have a second revenue stream of €5,000 per year. The competition we face is from OEMs and SMEs, but we are the only one to reduce drag, predict wear, use autonomous sensors, and be able to be compatible with many different machines from Vestas, Siemens Gamesa, and General Electric. The market is booming at the moment. There is 420,000 turbines installed in the world, and the CAGR rate for onshore wind is 15%, and the offshore is 25% more. We are looking to secure 3% of that market and already have 30 million of customers in the pipeline, and looking to earn 45 million in a one-time fee and 19 million per subscription yearly. The team is led by 4 passionate people with experience in startups in Poland and US, energy engineering, IoT electronics, and corporate finance and strategy. We're currently raising a round of €1 million to be able to hire the 2 business development managers for Europe and Canada, where we signing clients, and to finalize the cloud developments with AI algorithms and do certification. We are happy to have a number of clients in Poland and Europe, as well as in Canada and US. Thank you very much.
Who will start with the questions?
One question. So how about its sales channels? I mean, you also mentioned that Siemens and the manufacturers might also have similar solutions. How do you compete against them, or why don't you cooperate with them?
They don't actually have this solution. This is a synergy of IoT and aerodynamics, so they usually have that disconnected. We did talk to them, but we need to go through a procurement tree with them, and we are securing patent for the Western Europe and US. We would feel more secure when that's in place for us.
So the numbers you showed us in the value proposition, are those from the tests you do with these 2 turbines, or different?
No, we already have 5% production increase for a client in Poland and working towards 9% with him. And we have actually shown that our equipment survived the famous Fiona hurricane tropical storm in Canada, and we helped to save €170,000 from generator replacement that they actually avoided thanks to the technology we put. So the numbers are based on clients and actually agreements that we finalize.
So will there be any upsell from these projects with these clients?
Yes, because one client is actually signing a 7-year contract, so this is going to be a constant revenue stream. The island, the Prince Edward Island, has 100 turbines. We're signing 4 turbines, so there is more there. We already reached out to Polish Trade and Investment Agency in Toronto, and they contacted us with ENGIE of Canada, where there's 600 turbines that they have, and severely impacted by icing events. So this device is measuring temperature. And you may know that in Texas, a few years back, there was 13,000 turbines stopped from icing, and that generated in 3 days 4 billion euro of losses. So that's a significant problem in Canada as well. And then in Poland, we are looking to hire an ex-executive of Danwind, a Danish company that sold products to the market already in Western Europe.
Thank you.
Maybe a quick one, how you see the Asian markets, and in terms of manufacturing, is it everything manufactured in Europe, or do you rely on?
No, we actually outsource the IoT devices from China, and then we do have a corporate partnership with HP. This actually 3D printed from materials that the HP uses. It's an industrial workhorse that we actually have for printing. So I guess the answer is Asian for IoT devices, and Europe is for materials.
Amazingly on time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that's the end of our Great Pitch Contest slot. Thank you very much to the startups. Thank you very much for our jurors. And I want to invite all of the participants, all of the pitching startups on stage to take a group photo. Yes, yes, yes. Come up, I'll come up on stage. Judges, you're invited as well. Just come up there. Let's take a group photo with everyone. Smile for the picture.